Beowulf, and it was shown on 3D, and now everybody's jumping into that media to show movies. What kind of new challenges did you face, and were you thinking about 3D when you were making this movie? And what's the fascination with the trains?
Oh, well, the trains are, trains are great. They're very romantic. It just feels right. There's what feels right about this exhibit being on a train is, trains and Christmas. It's like peas and carrots. They go together. Trains and Christmas. It's a perfect match. 3D, yeah. I mean, I designed this film with 3D in mind, and but in the process that we work in, to be able to do performance capture, it's all 3D anyway. So it's a very easy translation to get it to be presented as 3D. But yeah, since the days of Beowulf, I keep 3D in mind when I'm directing. And it's interesting. I don't do a lot that's that much different. So I guess my style has always been 3D friendly to begin with. But you think about what might be a fun thing to do in 3D for sure.
Over here.
With the ghosts, what was your favorite one to play? And can you talk about trying to keep all these characters separate, or do you have to?
It was confusing at times, especially when I had to kind of work with myself as the ghosts and Scrooge. Fortunately, I had the help of one of my best friends, Carrie Elwes, who jumped in selflessly to play against me in those scenes. So when I played the ghost, he would play Scrooge, and when I played Scrooge, he would play the ghost. And it was an awesome thing for him to do for me, because it was really wonderful to have a great actor to work off of. Every character you do is a baby. You can't choose between them. If you do, you didn't do your job. So you got to fall in love with every character. I just felt so lucky to be able to do such a wide range of work within the same project, and to be able to do the accents and the different ages of the Scrooge character. There were a lot of subtleties that no one will ever hear about, but it was a real challenge, and all of the characters are so interesting, and psychologically, it's where I love to be. Kind of tearing apart a person from the inside out.
Okay, back here.
Hi guys, this is for both of you. Christmas Carol is obviously a film that has been made before. I wanted to know, what is the biggest challenge you guys face trying to reinvent this movie?
Well, the thing is that if you read the actual novel, if you read the story, there's two things that pop out immediately. One, Mr. Dickens was an amazing cinematic writer, and he wrote this 100 years before the invention of movies. He writes very filmically. It's amazing. The other thing that I realized when I was thinking of doing this project is we never had the tools to actually present the story the way Mr. Dickens wrote it. I mean, the way he describes the ghosts, the way he describes the environments that these characters move in, has always been unbelievably visual and very descriptive. And we've actually been saddled with technology that never really allowed us to present the ghosts, if you will, in a way that it's put on the page by Mr. Dickens. So that was the main inspiration as to why we wanted to re-envision the movie in a way that I think is really more true to the novel.
It's never been done by Bob Zemeckis before.
Okay, last question right over here.
I wonder if you guys could talk a bit about working together on this, and also, would you work together again, maybe on Roger Rabbit?
Well, we'll have to think about that.
He's casting. He's
Well, here's the thing. The thing that's great about working with Jim and working with him, especially in this process, is that what Jim was saying, and I can, I was actually thinking about when you were doing both Scrooge and the Ghost for days on end, and every morning we'd have to say, now, who do you want to play first, Jim? Who do you feel like should kick off this scene? When Jim, approaches a character, he approaches it with every cell in his body and every muscle and every nuance, And that's why it was such a thrill to work with him in this medium, because he just actually physically contorts himself into the character, and he doesn't even have to open his mouth. You look at him and you go, okay, well, I guess we're starting the scene with Scrooge. I mean, that's what it'll be. And the great thing about the process of working in this medium and having Jim play all these different characters is we would do a scene with the ghost, and then Jim would do Scrooge's side, and then he would get an idea as Scrooge, and he'd be able to hop back and do the ghost, and we'd be able to really just refine the scenes back and forth. And I mean, and it was just great. And to have a actor like Jim who's so versatile and was always thinking. I mean, always thinking. It was just great.
I liked it too. I really did. I mean, I don't know if you can imagine, like, at this point, I've done a few things, and I feel pretty accomplished, but I'll tell you, it's still a thrill when you have somebody like Bob Zemeckis say you're doing good work. And I don't know if that sounds, what that sounds like, it's the truth. It's like, I still need a co-signer. I go in there and I do my best, and it's when people like him say, boy, you're doing something really good, you just feel great, and it makes you want to do better. It makes you want to really do your best work.
Okay, thank you. That's all we have time for.
Thank you all.
If the press could stay in their seats while I'm